really healthy-looking audience today. Nobody near death? Nobody? Okay. I've always been like super fascinated by death. I'm just like completely fascinated by it. Like my mom was in the room when my grandmother died when I was a little kid, right? And I remember I asked her, I was like, what's that like? And she says, you know, you can't ever really prepare for it. The big thing is like the noise. Nobody ever tells you about the noise they make. You'll never guess that a person can make that much sound while they're being choked to death. I've been, what was that? I'm gonna choke you to death. What'd you say? I've been told that I look like a serial killer. You laughed a little too hard at that. We'll let it go. But like, to be a good serial killer, you have to be like super methodical, clean up after yourself all the time, right? And I'd easily be the worst one of all time by those standards. I'm super lazy and I half-ass everything I do. I can't tell you guys how many times this week I've wiped, looked, and went, good enough, and just... Yeah, any big true crime fans in here? Cool, you'll really relate to this. Fucking Christ, what do you guys have nothing else to do out here?
Yes.
Yes, you do? Okay, perfect, thank you. Thank you for sharing with everybody. I found out recently that by watching true crime documentaries that some serial killers will actually ejaculate themselves when they're killing somebody. That's kind of a nice thought, isn't it? No? To love something that much? I feel like none of you, not everybody's on board with me here. Like, listen. The two things I love in this world the most are my wife and soft pretzels. Neither one of them has ever made me come, so... I got a goofy sounding last name, Marmolejo. A lot of people like to ask me the origin of it. So if any of you were sitting there and wondering as I came up, where's that last name come from? I'm just gonna tell you what my stepdad used to tell everybody when I was growing up, which was, I paid you to dance, not speak to me. So I think it's German. My stepdad was an angry guy. Anybody grow up with an angry stepdad? Great, you'll relate to this one too. He was a super angry guy, and I can remember anytime I would lose something, he'd be like, well, didn't just grow legs and walk away, Zachary. Which was ironic because he was a double leg amputee. From the knee down there, and the day he got a pair of prosthetic legs, he walked out on our family, so. Bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy on that one. I really hate small talk. Like, I'm not really good at it, as you guys have seen from this set. I just hate like how it's all surface level, and almost always, like anytime somebody wants to talk to me, the first thing they want to talk about is my height. So like, I just started saying wild shit to get out of like talking with people. Like, I had a guy come up to me the other day and he was like, "Oh, look at the size of you." Not even the punchline. How's the weather up there? And I was like, I don't know, but the Jews still control it, so. I'm a pretty dumb guy. Not in like the cute, like, society's passed him by kind of way. It's more like, should he have a debit card anymore? But like, I found out recently that I've always just been dumb. Like, I talked to my mom on the phone the other day, and I was like, "Mom, you know, I think I'm getting dumber as I get older." And she's like, "No. She's like, "You've always been dumb." I was like, "What are you talking about?" And she was like, "Well, do you know, like, whenever we would go off and we would speak what you thought was German?" I was like, "Yeah, what about it?" And she's like, "That was actually Pig Latin. And you never quite figured it out." And I'm like, "Oh, that's why that one time on my birthday, my uncle was like, the Alte one is pretty oopidste, huh?" I was like, "And a guten Tag to you, Uncle Hubert, yes." Anybody in here get the sex talk? Great, you'll really relate to this one too. I didn't get the sex talk. Like, my stepdad, he was a pretty like closed off guy. He didn't like talking about those kinds of things. Like, the closest we ever came to a sex talk is we used to watch a lot of movies together. And anytime there was a pair of boobs on the screen, he would pause it and go, "Huh?" What do you think of that? Like, if you want to go up to your room and take care of yourself. I'll keep the movie paused. And I remember I had to be like, "Dad, that's disgusting. This movie's about a woman who has to sell her body to feed her drug addiction. So yeah, give me like 5 minutes and I'll come back." But I was like, how many times do we have to watch your and Mom's wedding night video? I used to get bullied a lot when I was a kid. But like I said, I used to watch like a lot of movies with my dad. Like, we used to watch a lot of 80s action movies. Our favorite was always Jean-Claude Van Damme, right? And anytime I would get bullied, I would always picture that I would handle it like how they handled it in the movies. My favorite Jean-Claude Van Damme movie of all time is this movie called Death Warrant. And in it, he plays like this undercover cop, and he has to go in, and the first day he's in there, or in prison, he has to go inside prison. And the first day he's in, his cellmate comes in, and Jean-Claude Van Damme puts his stuff on the top bunk, and the cellmate goes, "You want that top bunk, you're gonna have to work for it." And he starts motioning towards his junk, and Jean-Claude Van Damme goes, "Oh, sacre bleu," and fucking spin kicks him, right? So like the next day I was on the swing set. And this bully came up to me. And he's like, that's my swing set. So I thought to myself, what would JCVD do, right? So I made that kid blow me at knife point. I'm gonna get out of here on this one. This is a bit of an upper. Something really lighten the room up. I have based a lot of like my life off of like the movies I watch. I'm a huge like cinephile, and like for a good portion of my life, I've based off of the 2011 movie Drive with Ryan Gosling. Nobody's seen it, great. That's fine. In the movie, Ryan Gosling plays like this Hollywood stuntman, and like he moonlights as a getaway driver for bank robbers. And like when the movie first starts, he's on the phone with his next client, and he's like, I don't carry a gun, I drive. You give me a time and a place, I'm gonna give you a 5-minute window. Anything happens in that 5 minutes, I'm yours. And then he ends the phone call by saying, you'll never be able to contact me at this number again. He throws the phone away. So I used to use a lot of those lines to pick up women in college. Like I was at a party one time, and this girl walked up to me, and she was like, hey, how you doing? What's your major? What do you study? I'm like, I don't carry a gun, I drive. Amazingly, that worked. And we ended up going back to her place, and we were making out on the couch. Things were getting hot and heavy. And she was like, what do you say we take this into the bedroom? I was like, you give me a time and a place. I'm going to give you a 5-minute window. And then me and her, we ended up dating for a long time. It was really a quite nice relationship. I dated her for 7 years. 7 years. And then unfortunately one day it ended. She called me and she said, Zach, this is kind of scary to tell you, but I think I might be pregnant. And I said, you'll never be able to contact me. Thanks, guys.